The UK is under lockdown, the US is struggling, France is staring at another emergency, and India is a picture in contrast. It's as if the pandemic is over in India. Schools are being reopened, vaccines are being rolled out. Is the worst behind us? Tonight on Gravitas, we'll try to understand the India story. Is India now immune to the Wuhan virus? We'll start with the numbers. What do they say? Then we'll look at how India achieved these numbers, and then we'll talk about what lies ahead for us. So first, the numbers. They look good. India's caseload is shrinking by a lot. Hospital beds in major cities are empty. For perspective, listen to this. In September last year, India was reporting 1 lakh cases every day. This was the average, 1 lakh cases per day. This month, that number is down to 10,000. Do you see the drop from 1 lakh to 10,000? And it's across the board, this trend. Every indicator now says the numbers have dropped in India. Let me show you some more. India's recovery rate is more than 97%. It's among the highest in the world. So 97% of those who are infected recover. By last week, daily deaths had dropped to less than 100. This is the 7-day rolling average, less than 100 deaths a day. Not ideal, yes, but it's way better than September or October last year when India was reporting more than 1,000 deaths a day. More than half of India's states are not reporting any deaths from the Wuhan virus. The number of deaths per million stands at 112. And just for the sake of comparison, in the US and the UK, more than 1,000 people have died per million. Look at the numbers from today. A significant reduction is evident in cases is evident here. 33 states and union territories have less than 5,000 cases. And no one has died in 18 states and union territories in India. The bulk of the cases right now is limited to just 3 states, Kerala, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Together, they account for close to 77% of India's total active cases today, 3 states. By now, you must be wondering, what explains India's recovery? How did India achieve these numbers? Has it defeated the Wuhan virus? Or as critics would be quick to ask, is India just testing less? Are fewer people being tested in India to lower the numbers? The answer is no. The number of tests in India has not gone down. Let me give you an example. On the 4th of February this year, more than 7 lakh Indians were tested, more than 700,000 in one day. That's 7.5 times more compared to the number of people tested in May last year. And those numbers have held steady in the past 14 days. More than 7 lakh samples have been tested almost every day in India from the 1st to the 14th of February. So India is not testing less to underreport cases. India's caseload has actually dropped. And this is reason to cheer, but it's not reason to lower your guard. Here is the next question. How did India achieve these figures? Part of the credit, of course, goes to India's pandemic response. The other part goes to the virus itself, and we'll explain that. But first, a disclaimer. The India story is rather unique. Experts around the world are studying it. No one has been able to explain the dramatic drop in India's cases. They have proposed some theories, and we have 3 of them for you tonight. Number 1, India had a weaker strain of the Wuhan virus. That's what they're saying now. And this is not a Western assessment. It has come from India. It says there was a milder version of the virus in the subcontinent, which explains the recoveries. India has more than 10.9 million cases. That's the number of cases India has seen in all. 10.9 million cases, the second highest in the world. But 10.6 million people have recovered. So either the virus is weaker here or Indians have higher immunity, and that's theory number 2. Indians have better immunity compared to others. Take a look at what this report says. Diseases like malaria, dengue, typhoid, hepatitis and cholera are rampant in India. And plus, for a section of the population in this country, access is limited to clean drinking water, to proper sanitation, to hygienic food. Some experts now believe that this may have led to stronger immunity among Indians. 2 scientific papers have raised this possibility, but these studies are not conclusive. So the WhatsApp jokes about street food boosting immunity in India may have some takers in the scientific community too. The third theory is the possibility of herd immunity. Some of the worst hit cities in India may now have herd immunity from the virus. It's when a large section of the population achieves immunity, like in Delhi. A recently conducted sero survey found that 50 to 60% of Delhi's residents have Wuhan virus antibodies. What does that mean? That means that Delhi is close to herd immunity. The WHO says that a city needs 60 to 70% immunity to break the chain of transmission. Delhi has 50 to 60%, just on the brink of herd immunity. It's assuming that the people who have antibodies are immune to the virus. Now, there are two ways a population can become immune to the virus. Either the people get infected and recover from the virus, or they get vaccinated. Now, the world is just starting to get the vaccine supplies, which means more people were infected in Delhi than the cases registered. They must have been asymptomatic and they recovered without any medical intervention. Only 6% of Indians are older than 65 years, and that's an important factor too, age. More than half of the population of India is below 25 years of age. The youth is not immune to the virus, but the youth is far less likely to die from it and more likely to not show symptoms. What about the rest of India? How many cities have achieved this herd immunity? Like Delhi, in Pune and Mumbai, more than 50% of the population has shown antibodies. No surprises there. These cities saw some of the highest caseloads in India. But the whole country does not have herd immunity. According to the latest sero survey, only 21% of adults and 25% of children in India could have been infected and by extension could have immunity from the Wuhan virus, which means the majority of the Indian population is still vulnerable. They haven't been exposed to the virus, and scientists say India is yet to be tested against the new and more infectious variants, the mutations from South Africa, Brazil and the United Kingdom. By January, India had reported more than 160 cases of the UK variant. Other mutations have not been reported in India, so here's the bottom line. India is doing very good. There is reason to celebrate, but like I said, not to let your guard down. The pandemic is not over. There is no room for complacency. Keep your mask on. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.